Greetings gastronauts, this is KeefCooks, I'm Keef and today I'm going to do fish and chips. Oh yes, oh no. Well, fish and chips with a twist. I'm going to make Heston Blumenthal's triple cooked chips, or something approximating that. And I'm going to use salmon instead of a more traditional white fish. I did a live stream last Sunday and I got a request from Marcus Gardner to do fish and chips. Now, I have done fish and chips. It was actually one of the very first ones that I did when I started the channel. And I remade it a few years ago. And that one is still good, I think. I checked it out. It's a nice video. So I'll put a link to that somewhere. And also on that live stream, long-time fan Cindy Murata convinced me that I should give battered salmon a try. I was reluctant. It's an oily fish and I don't think it'll be really particularly grand in crispy batter, but I'm prepared to be wrong. So let's get on with it. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, share, subscribe, make a comment, etc. And here we go, triple cooked chips with battered salmon. Okay, for your chips, you want some potatoes. Maris Piper are good. These are roosters, also good. I'm not going to get into too much specificness about potato varieties because they do vary a lot across the world. So find out what's best from what you can get, what's best for frying. They need to be peeled. You wouldn't catch Heston Blumenthal with skin on his spuds, absolutely not. I don't know if Heston invented this method. He certainly enhanced it or perfected it, and I'm not following it exactly because I think I don't have time. But the basic process is to boil, simmer your potatoes until they're almost falling apart, and then chill them, and then fry them at a low temperature, chill them again, and then fry them finally at a high temperature. And it sounds like a big faff, and it is, but hopefully it'll be worth it. I've had triple chucked kips from other places, not from Heston, because, you know, I'm poor, and they have been marvellous. So yeah, definitely worth the effort. Okay, we need to cut them about 1 centimetre, a bit under ½ inch. So, you know, they're fairly substantial. They're not like skinny fries. In fact, they're not like fries at all, really. And we can't use a magic knife because we do want them to be pretty much identical. Well, of course they're not, but we're not going to throw away the roundy bits. Okay, got some water, got my chips. Just combine the two. And a teaspoon of salt. Whack that on the stove, bring it to the boil, turn it down, simmer it till the potatoes are almost falling apart. Right, while the spuds are simmering away, I'm going to make the batter for the fish. My fish, I've got 260 grams of salmon, and it's got skin on, which I like. You might not, so you might want to get rid of that. About 50 grams of plain all-purpose flour, ½ teaspoon of salt, and some beer, just about the same kind of volume. You can use any kind of beer you want, you know, a lager or a pale ale. If you don't do alcohol, you can use carbonated water, as long as it's not sweetened. It's got a few lumps in, try and get them out, but, you know, you don't need to go crazy. A nice smooth mixture, and let that rest until we're ready for it. I'll actually put both of those in the fridge. Spuds are cooked. A fork goes in really easily, and it's supposed to fall apart, and it did. It just snapped, so that's good. I need to drain those, and when they're more or less dry, I'll put them in a freezer bag and put them in the freezer to cool down completely. We don't want to freeze them, we just want them to get cold. Do you know what, I think I might have overdone it with the cooking, because nearly all of the chips broke in half, or more than half. Broke into more than half. We're going to get a lot of things that are not proper chip size. Hey ho! Anyway, as I say, in the freezer to cool down completely. Now we're going to give the chips their first low temperature cooking. So we want plenty of oil in a pan, but, you know, make sure it's not too close to the top or it might boil over and set your house on fire. We don't want that. So this needs to be 130 degrees Celsius. Then we lower the cold chips in and give them about 5 to 7 minutes till they're, I was going to say till they're softened, but they're already unbelievably soft. Anyway, just cook them for a bit, then take them out and drain them. Put them back in the freezer bag and back in the freezer. Okay, now I'm going to cook the fish. I'm going to cut these fillets in half because I just like better proportion like that, I think. You need to coat them in flour and that helps the batter stick. And then stab it with a fork and dip it in the batter. Get it coated all over and then that goes in the hot oil. You need to heat the oil now to 180 degrees Celsius. When it's reached that temperature, slowly lower the fish pieces in. Don't crowd the pan. It'll probably take about 5 minutes for the batter to become crispy and golden, at which point you can take them out and put the twice cooked chips in for their final bit of cooking. And they need to be in there until they too have turned golden and crispy. And then you're done. While it's happening, I've got some frozen petit pois being warmed up. And now it's taste test time with Mrs. KeefCooks again. Oh.
Hi guys. Hello darling.
Oh. Wow. Chips, fish.
Excellent. I'm a bit weary. I've just got in from work, so very nice to walk straight into and being cooked for me. Oh, is that lime?
Yeah.
To go with the cod? Not the cod, the salmon.
Yeah.
So this is a new one on me. Deep fried salmon.
Mmm. Oh, I like it.
Mmm. Mmm. Oh yeah. Because it's an oily fish, it's a completely different experience. But all the fish oils caught in the batter. The batter looks quite different from your usual one. Is it a different thing, or is it how it's reacted?
It's exactly the same, but I think because it's well, it's got skin on the other side, so darker, like that. Not very appetising, but also I've left it in a little bit longer than I would have normally if I wasn't making a video.
Oh, give me a chip. Yeah. I'm spilling peas everywhere.
You are. So these are triple cooked, a la Heston Blumenthal.
Oh yeah. Well, I know you can cook chips, my love.
Yeah, but I don't normally do them like this because it's a right faff. But yeah.
Whoever it was that requested this, he doesn't mind really.
Nobody requested the triple cooked chips.
Ah.
That's just like a bonus.
Right. That means you don't get to whinge about it then. They are good.
Me whinge.
Is this us fighting over the salmon?
No, it's just close there.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Definitely like this. But it's not that I expected not to. It's just, that's going to be really quite different. I definitely like it. The flavours trapped in it.
Okay, well that was for Cindy Murata, and thanks for being persistent about it. That's quite nice. Okay, thanks for watching. See you next time.